Hey, you guys, and welcome to the Marketing Blender Show. I'm Dacia Coffee, and this is our digital marketing guru, Ramsey Sanchez. Now, this is actually a bonus episode because on our last one, we did these 6 ways to get B2B Google Ads optimization. We were talking about digital marketing ROI, and it was a great one. It was definitely a deep dive. But as we were talking, Ramsey decided to share his personal expert checklist. So this is bonus content, especially if you are a marketer or if you're looking, if you know enough and you're wondering, how do I really go deeper? This one's for you. Ramsey, let's go ahead and dive into your checklist.
In that buyer's journey, if you want to create more conversions from your ads, you've got to think about where can ads be placed in the whole process, right? So there's the search intent, right? Then you have the retargeting aspect where you can do it on search or display. You can target them on YouTube. You can retarget them on Gmail. You can retarget them on different parts of the internet or the websites, and you can hone in on what exact sites that you actually want to show up on. So if you have a decent sized budget, you can be in every part of that user journey, and even after the sale, right? You want to increase that lifetime value. You definitely want to start improving that. But anyways, I would like to get into I like to get into the checklist. So this is for those who probably already have ad counts set up. You're not necessarily starting your ad campaigns. So the first one is, of course, conversions, right? I wanted to talk about this. I already covered a lot about it. Just make sure everything's set up there correctly. Your forms, your phone numbers, but then you also want to assign those conversions to a specific campaign, right? If that conversion is going across all your campaigns, and it might just throw everything out of sync and out of whack. It's just, you want to make sure that you give it a name and you assign it to the right campaign. That way, that campaign only converts for that conversion metric. All right, so we already talked about offers, but the next part of my checklist is auction insights. So you can look at exactly how your ads are performing compared to other competitors around those keywords.
Winning.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I love seeing this. So we just, that client you were kind of talking about with the phone calls, we had set up the ad campaign. We had 2 sets of ad groups, and they had their own specific keywords, but they related with the same type of service business, right? They would probably in any point work with that type of material. And for a while, we noticed that on the auction insights that the competitor was outranking us, right? So, but eventually with some optimizations and looking at the insights, we saw that we started to slowly get above the competitor, and it's been really great.
So fun.
So it's been really, it's really cool to be able to tell that news to our clients, but also, as a business owner, I'm sure you're just thinking like, wow, this is really amazing to see that we're now in position 1 above our competitor. So auction insights will tell you that when a new person or a new competitor enters the game, or when somebody starts to outrank you, then you need to start doing something differently. Also, it will tell you if you're in position 1. A lot of times you will look at your absolute top of page rate, which is really you want to try to be in the metric around like 20%. That's about average. So you can be below, you can be above, but you really won't get higher than that unless you just have a really great offer and product that a lot of people are looking for. We have that one client around the cleanup, so it's kind of like an emergency sense. So there's going to be a lot of position 1s for that one. It's a higher metric for that one. But that would tell you that, hey, this my ad copies are not resonating. Google's not serving it up because for ABC, whatever it might be. So the next one would be location targeting. There's 2 very popular ways of setting up your ad accounts. One is when you target the location. A lot of times, if you're just going for the U.S., there's a part in there where you have to drop it down. It's kind of like an advanced option, and you've got to look for the people in or regular in your targeting locations. Everyone in the Google ad space always mentions this one, and it's my job to tell you too. Make sure that's set and saved, because you don't want people who have just visited your site, but they live somewhere else, right? They are in that location. But then there's also ways to narrow down your audience to specific cities, states, whatever it might be. And Google will tell you how many clicks and conversions come from those different states. And you may see that, these states, California doesn't really make sense for my business actually, because there's less of my presence there, or there's less of that type of service there. So you may want to remove that as an option or lower the bidding. So search networks is another important one that you can find in your settings. So a lot of times people are, when they get their ads account set up, or when they set up the account, they forget to turn this off because Google applies it automatically for whatever reason. And so display and search networks are usually checked. And what that does is it takes your budget from Google and puts it into these partner sites, right? So other search networks that they partner with, but it's not on Google. And if that's very important to you, where you just want to be on Google only, because that 90% of search traffic share is probably on Google, you want to be on Google, right? So you definitely want to check that off. That's just a simple optimization that you can do to help improve. And then, or if you want a low cost option, you want to get in front of more people, you can turn it on. That it can also help. I've seen that here recently with some industries. Bidding strategies. A lot of times, if you're in like e-commerce, maximize clicks, getting a lot of traffic to your site is probably really great. But since we're talking about conversions, my favorite is maximize conversions. It's a really great smart bidding option to set up your ads count, and you don't want to give it any. You want to set it up there because Google is going to look at the conversions that you send back to them and try to optimize for that, and it's going to maximize at the best value for that conversion for that ad account. And then you eventually, if you find that you really perfected this, you can then add a filter of how much you want to spend, like a target amount that you want to spend per lead, right? So it's called a TCPA, target cost per acquisition. And then the last one is ad schedules. A lot of people just set it and again forget it, but those ads are running 24/7. So if you don't have any salesperson set up for the nighttime, or somebody, you may be just wasting your money again. So make sure that you have an optimal time. Don't narrow yourself too much. A lot of times we do like 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. or 9 p.m. But there are others who we actually set up 24/7 because somebody might come in later in the night, working night shifts or whatever it might be, depending on the industry, manufacturing industry. Mm-hmm. And then you got East Coast, West Coast, all these different things that factor in. So, but those are great ways to help improve your ads. So those are just some snippets of my checklist that I kind of go through in my head and I've learned throughout the years. So yeah,
it's powerful. I love it. If you are interested in getting an audit, feel free to reach out to us. Go to our website, themarketingblender.com. And when you fill out a form, simply let us know that you saw this episode, and you can actually hop on with Ramsey and he'll walk through an audit of your account and give you guys some recommendations. And so thank you so much, as always, for subscribing. And if you haven't, hit that button. And we love it when you give us a thumbs up. Even more important, hit us up on a comment or a DM so that we know what else you want to hear about. So thank you guys so much. Onward and upward.